Bienvenidos a Loading Freddy, esto es de Last Campfire, el nuevo videojuego de Hello Games, así que aquí continuamos con la segunda parte. Vamos a la aventura.
Barely visible through the murky water and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat. The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. It was hard to make sense of this place. The trail just kept on closing. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly. traveler said. You sailed in here. Where's your boat? Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back. The stranger had blazed their own path, created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The Ember was curious. I'm headed for the crossroads. It's not far, I think. I've heard there's a nest there, a safe place. The fisherman murmured quietly between soulful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond. Only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. There's a frog in that pond, a big one. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort. Spent every day side by side.
Dime más, viejo sabio.
So much better at fishing than me, that frog is. catches them before I can bait them. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days. The fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much time feeling like this. The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. Well, listen to me here rambling on and on. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. Its eyes were fixed on Ember, but it seemed to mean no harm. Was this the frog that the fisherman spoke of? Ember could hardly ignore the rumbling from the frog's belly.
Bueno, hasta ahora hemos rescatado 4 Ewoks de 7 en total. Los voy a llamar Ewoks porque se parecen a los Ewoks de Star Wars. Pero faltan 3 para completar esta fase completita al 100%. Así que vamos a buscar los Ewoks perdidos.
The old gate was locked. The crow held its shining trophy tight.
Oye, Chango, necesito esa llave. Dame la llave. Vuelve aquí, Chango.
The stranger whispered, "Ever feel like you are being watched? I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice." The worm looked helpless, with no way to escape. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp. Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
Oye, sapo, tengo aquí tu alimento. Toma. Pero yo no.
This was not how Ember had imagined the end. The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then...
Ay, qué lindo es no
the
comerme.
frog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn. The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The stranger spoke. You look hungry, friend. You bring any broth with you? There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't believe. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more.
Bien, mis queridos amigos, hasta aquí la segunda parte del video. Espero que les esté gustando. Prontito voy a subir la tercera parte, así que denle like, suscríbanse. Gracias por el apoyo. Loading Freddy se despide. Hasta la próxima.